Hello everybody, and welcome back to the EcoPosh for You YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about the Informed Consumers Act, which was recently passed and is going to be going into effect within the next couple days or a week. I think it's either the 23rd or the 27th. But anyway, it's going to be going into effect soon, so I'm going to explain to you how this is going to affect you as a reseller. First of all, why is this happening? Well, retailers know all too well the headache and loss of profit caused by the online sale of counterfeit and stolen goods. Such sales are essentially theft from legitimate businesses. They weaken brand value and put consumers at risk of fraud and poor quality products. When a marketplace is alerted that such products are being offered through its online platform, the law provides immunity to the marketplace so long as it removes the products and provides contact information for the seller. But often the contact information is as fake as the products, which pop back up under a new false name the next day. This counterfeit whack-a-mole game is expensive, frustrating, and often ineffective. After considerable lobbying, Congress has taken action directed at combating the online market for counterfeit and stolen goods by recently passing the Integrity, Notification, and Fairness in Online Retail Marketplaces for Consumers Act, the Informed Consumers Act. The Act places new disclosure obligations on high-volume sellers of consumer goods through online marketplaces aimed at bringing unscrupulous sellers out of the shadows and into the enforcement power of the Federal Trade Commission and state's Attorney General. While traditional intellectual property protection through patents, trademarks, and copyright remains crucial, the new statutory requirements of the Act should help legitimate businesses with their enforcement efforts and deter high-volume counterfeiting. Now we get to the part where we talk about how it affects us as sellers. The Informed Consumers Act requires online marketplaces to collect and verify certain identification and bank account information for high-volume sellers, defined as those who have sold 200 or more items as new through that marketplace, totaling over $5,000 in revenue during any 12 consecutive month period within the past 2 years. This includes the following information: bank account number, tax ID number or social security number, working phone number, working email address, and for business sellers, a copy of government-issued record or tax document that includes the business name and physical address. In addition, for sellers with annual revenue through a given marketplace of $20,000 or more, marketplaces must collect, verify, and display the seller's name and physical address on a product page, in product confirmation, or in order details. So you're probably asking yourself, how is this different from what they already do? They pretty much already collect all this, right? Most of the platforms. I think too, one of the things that it's going to do is, as far as the physical address, this could be a concern because, basically your address is going to be displayed on a page, and some people may not want that. A lot of times people go to great length to create an LLC and get a PO box so that they, for safety reasons. I have a PO box, but it's not because I got it. It's because the post office gave it to me because we have to check our mail. I don't know why, because they deliver mail to almost everybody else in town, and we literally live just a few blocks away. And they deliver mail even way further from us. I don't get it. They literally deliver it up to the almost the next street. It's so annoying because I can't get my packages picked up or anything. Anyway, sorry, I don't want to get off track. But yeah, I'm just it's frustrating. So long story short, because let's not go into all that, I have a P.O. box. And I'm glad I do. I probably would have started one, I think, for my business, because you don't want your personal information given out to people. You never know who's going to get mad over whatever type of small Like they didn't like their purchase, or they didn't like the way it was wrapped. They didn't like how long it took to ship, even though it was the post office's fault and not your fault, or whatever. Who knows, right? There's like, we all know there's a variety of reasons why they get angry. They are angry. And it's always the ones that you give the really good deals to. It's never the people that pay full price and that complain. It's always the people that you gave them a really good deal, a shipping discount. Those are always the ones. But back to what I'm saying. It's not necessarily a good idea to make the seller's name and physical address be displayed. It says on a product page, in purchase confirmations, or in order details, right? So that would probably mean, because I don't think Poshmark would just display people's information on your Meet the Posher or your About section or anything like that. So I'm assuming that this is meaning that they're going to put it in the order details. And this is why I recommend that, you don't have like younger children helping with Posh, because you don't want creepers to be able to get your address. And what this has done is that it's made it a lot easier now for that to happen. I've actually looked around a little bit and I haven't seen anywhere where Poshmark has addressed it, but that could be because I haven't searched the right terms correctly, or I haven't looked on the Poshmark blog thoroughly enough. So I'm going to go back and take a look at it and see if they have any information on how it will affect us on Poshmark. But I can see that Amazon put out a tweet at the end of May about it. And it looks like they were getting their sellers ready for the transition to the Inform Act. So they were kind of switching over and working on it. But if I do hear, and I will keep looking, and when I hear and figure out how and if it affects us at Poshmark, as far as however they intend to implement this policy, I will let you guys know when I have an update on it. Let's see, and here's a little bit from another article. To aid in the fight against ORC, the Retail Industry Leaders Association is supporting legislation to enact a federal ORC task force that brings together federal law enforcement, including the Department of Homeland Security. Oh, lovely. The Department of Justice, the Federal Bureau of Investigations, and United States Postal Service. Man, just some of the best groups ever, right? Together to help disrupt and prosecute criminal rings targeting retail stores. And here is the last piece of information we're going to look at. Information Act punishes small businesses and favors one particular business model. Congress and states should focus on legislation that holds bad actors accountable. Congress and various state legislatures are considering legislation called Inform Act bills, which is pretty much what they've already done, which purports to curtail the sale of counterfeit and stolen goods online. In reality, this legislation favors large brick-and-mortar retailers at the expense of small businesses that sell online, while doing nothing to prevent fraud and abuse or hold bad actors accountable. If Congress and states want to stop bad actors from harming consumers, they should instead pass legislation that increases the penalties against online criminals and provides greater resources for law enforcement. We know that fraudsters will go to extreme lengths to hurt honest entrepreneurs and consumers. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So, let's see. So this is really interesting thing we should point out here, is that the bills open the door for new types of fraud and abuse. The bills would require publishing the personally identifiable information of millions of sellers. These bills also have onerous seller verification requirements that would not stop bad actors, but instead would effectively drive away legitimate business from engaging in online commerce. And these bills set in stone seller verification processes that could quickly be outwitted by fraudsters and would prevent the types of innovation that Amazon and other online stores are constantly adopting. And basically, to me, it just feels like, the people that are actually doing business honestly, the ones that are the law-abiding citizens are the ones that are going to be punished because the criminals are abusing the situation, and they're going to get around it no matter what, okay? Whatever it is, they're going to figure out a way to get around it. And so this is just something else that punishes law-abiding citizens that criminals will figure out their way around. Because I don't think if you're selling fraudulent goods, you're going to write down your correct physical address, all right? I mean, they may catch a few that way, maybe a handful, but come on now. All that's going to do is make people that are doing it the right way be punished, which is sad. And the thing about it is like, even if they did catch the people that were selling counterfeit goods, nobody prosecutes criminals anymore. Nobody punishes anybody anymore. Right now, our society is more for, the criminal than it is for the victim of the crime. And so it's just not, I don't feel like this is going to help at all for those reasons alone. Until they do something about it on the local prosecuting level, local court level, I don't think doing things like this are going to help anybody. If anything, it's just going to cause more problems. And I'm kind of upset about it because I don't really see, if you've gone to the trouble of opening a P.O. box, if you've gone to the trouble of paying for an LLC so that you could get a P.O. box and you could have some privacy as a business, and you've paid for that privacy as a business, as far as, being able to, and I'm not saying that you're such a private business that nobody can contact you when there's a problem. I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying, if you've paid to be able to get a post office box and you've paid for that service, I don't agree with it, I guess. So, but I hope this video was informative for you guys, and I wish you guys wonderful sales and have a wonderful week.